Yeah.
Let's just make sure it's working. Okay, cool. So yeah, difficult week in the markets for most people. How about
Yeah.
yourself?
I was mostly out of the market this week.
Yeah.
Fortunately, of course. Basically due to some personal private I wouldn't say issues, but a relative of mine just passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's part of life, which basically resulted me in being emotional. And if I've learned anything from my own 2-year trading journey, is that when I am emotional, I basically am able to fuck everything up in 30 minutes. So I
Yeah,
decided to stay out of the markets and trying to prevent that.
that's good awareness. That's very good
Yeah,
awareness.
yeah, I did let my masters run, and my master accounts one is using a split risk strategy on gold.
Yeah,
Just checked social trader tools. It's now in 11K drawdown, so that would have hit an EP.
yeah,
And the master account I used to copy over to OnlyFans, it's GU master,
yeah.
basically following the same strategy, but it's also hit EP. So I'm thankful that I decided to turn off. Yeah,
I was gonna say those are literally the two pairs which kind of ruined me this week. So
yeah,
GU and
yeah,
Gold, both pairs just went on a mad one. So yeah,
yeah,
that's good
yeah,
awareness that you've actually managed to make those decisions. And I suppose that's what trading's all about, really, is making good decisions. And I think
yeah,
that's one of them. And being aware of your emotions, like in everyday life, and how that affects your trading. But
yeah,
how did you
100%.
get started in trading in the first place?
Well, I've been in financial services, just the regular day job. After I passed my studies, my university, and then I quickly realized I wasn't really the kind of guy to do the 9 to 5 thing.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with it. I'm not downplaying anyone that's still in the 9 to 5 thing, but
yeah,
for me personally, everything was wrong with it because I like to be my own boss, have freedom,
yeah,
yada yada yada. You know the story. So I started with e-commerce, and e-commerce basically gave me the freedom to quit my day job and explore other ventures. So, firstly, I did some entrepreneurship in e-commerce, scaled that rather quickly because, well, the timing was perfect as well. It was 1 year before COVID happened. So when everything locked down, my sales went through the roof, and then I was like, okay, let me automate this business. And then when it was automated, I was basically always searching for the next new thing.
yeah.
Like many people, saw an ad on Instagram about the Forex thing. Met a fellow Dutch guy. His name is Michael. He helped me out a lot, and he was in the Forex affiliation business.
Yeah.
So what he basically did was he had a martingale expert advisor that he would give to you if you partnered up with his broker. So I did, deposited, 300 euros or anything. And this bot performed quite nicely, to be honest. I
Yeah.
had literally no idea about Forex in general, but I just installed the expert advisor, and it actually banked like 1.5% each day. And this went really well for about 8 months.
Yeah.
Scaled the account from 300 euros to 18K.
Bloody hell.
And then Ukraine war happened, and it blew in one day. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
You
that was
sold it for
basically, sorry.
318K, yeah?
Yeah, I did deposit sometimes, but still, when you make 1.5% each day, it quickly compounds, you know.
Yeah.
And when I saw it working, I got a bit greedy. Deposited some of my e-commerce earnings into the account, for 500 there, 500 there, 500 there.
Yeah.
But when you have an account of say 7K and you bank 1.5% each day, it compounds rather quickly in absolute numbers.
That's
But as I
unbelievable.
said, I just got greedy. I didn't have any knowledge. I didn't really see the potential risk
Yeah.
because it was running so nicely each and every day. I was like, oh, when it gets in drawdown, it will build back. And
Uh-huh.
I was so unaware about the risks and didn't really understand anything, to be honest.
All
So
part of
when
the
that
learning.
account, sorry,
It's all part of the learning curve, though, right?
yeah, 100%, one
Yeah,
hundred
you
percent.
have to go through these things.
Yes. And
And
this
what would
18K, it hurts to lose, but to be honest, one day later, I was back making plans again to not let this happen again.
Yep, good,
Um,
good, good, good.
this this was also when I started to see advertisements from your beautiful community, the
Yeah.
Bio Expert Advisor, and this was also when I basically decided to not risk my own capital anymore,
Uh-huh.
and try to put up a firm game, because for me it was a no brainer, because if I would have lost, it would have just been the funded account and not my own capital.
Yeah.
So I jumped into the rabbit hole of trying to pass challenges without any knowledge. So I basically blew them one by one.
Yep. Yep.
Lost a
Yep.
lot
Yep.
of money just not following and just not following a strategy, just dabbling around gambling, to be honest.
Yep.
And then when I finally got funded, basically just because probability finally played out in my way, I basically lost the account in 1 week again.
Uh-huh. I've been there. Trust me.
Yeah,
I
and
think everyone has, right? You like
I do think so. Yeah,
literally everyone I've spoke to on these interviews literally starts with the same thing,
yeah,
and usually ends with the same thing as well. So yeah, it's all
yeah.
part of the process. So what would you say were like the three things that you were struggling with before you actually found PAL? If you could identify like three main things.
Well, to be honest, for me personally, it's still the thing I struggle with right now. Is my own psychology.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very determined person. If I want something, I need to have it. I need to get it.
Yep.
But I'm also very disciplined in my own life. But when it comes to trading, I found this discipline kind of going out of the window when I incurred a loss. I would revenge trade and then quickly blow the account, and then when the dust settled down, I realized I fucked up again.
Yep.
So I to be honest, I was just obsessed about getting funded. I was obsessed with getting it quickly. And if I've learned anything, it's that trying to get it quickly will only result in it taking more time.
Yep. Yeah.
So I would make I would follow the PO process, make a nice portfolio. Back in the day when we were still on the version 6.5, I had some really nice set files back tested that would have passed me. Well, not 100%, but surely it would have been a way more win rate than I would have gotten otherwise.
Yeah.
But I just didn't let it play out. I didn't let it play out. I was so obsessed and focused and checking the screen all the time, being on the
Yeah.
charts all the time. And then when the EA made some nice trades and got into, for example, 0.8% drawdown, I was panicking and I was layering trades my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it
Trust
would
me.
just close, and then in hindsight, I would backtest the same day again, and I would have seen that it would have closed in profit, and I would get emotional again. So when I was in a calm state of mind, so
Yeah.
out of the market, I would make these very nice portfolios, and then when I finally it was finally time to run the strategy,
Yeah.
I would either get uncomfortable or I wasn't patient enough, and I
Yeah.
would just interfere with the process.
I feel like
So
this is what trading kind of does to you, though, right? It's like
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
so it's so well, I'm very similar to you. Like it's easy to get obsessed with it, and it's easy to get obsessed with like the potential that can be made. Because
yeah,
obviously you see all these prop firms, you see what people are withdrawing, you see like you
yeah,
know
yeah,
what can
yeah,
actually what is actually possible, and
exactly.
it you kind of get obsessed with that, and I think that's what kind of drives your decision making. Whereas if you could take a step back and
Hmm.
like we said at the start of the call, just be a little bit more self-aware,
Yeah,
you start to slow down the process and start to make better decisions, and that kind of improves your
100%.
trading in the long run.
Yeah. And what I found as well, and I knew this from a logical point of view, but emotionally, this kind of went. I forgot about it or something.
Yeah.
But logically speaking, I've always I'm a kickboxer, for example, and the kickboxing is just when you do more, you get better results. When you train better, you get better results. When you
Uh-huh.
eat better, you get better results. Always about doing more.
Yeah.
And this mindset has translated for me very well in the e-commerce thing as well. If you do more product research and you launch more products, you have more
Mm.
potential of profiting. If you do more work, if you do more branding, if you do more design, it looks better.
Yeah.
And I try to apply the same mindset to trading, and it always ended bad
Yeah.
because doing more in trading for me resulted in having worse results because you're just jumping from strategy to strategy
Yeah.
without letting it play out.
Yeah.
So for me personally, when I really took a step back out of necessity, because if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't be sitting here on the podcast or on the interview today.
Yeah.
But when I stepped back and just basically we're sitting like this, oh, okay, yeah, it's all good, and then finally it clicked, and then finally the results started coming in, and this was the confirmation I basically needed. And
Yeah.
now I know I'm on a better path than I was a year ago. So
Good, good,
yeah.
good, good, good. So like, yeah, that's great stuff, man. So with the things that you're struggling with, like, how would you say that kind of affected you personally, like in other areas of your life? Did it have an effect? Did it have a negative effect?
Yeah. It had a really, really negative effect because I was so obsessed with passing these challenges. I
Yeah.
basically used the money I earned from my then automated e-commerce business to continually pass the challenges. So
Yeah.
there were times I literally failed three 200K challenges a day,
Hmm.
just being all chaotic and just so obsessed, just gambling, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when I yet again when the dust settled and I realized what I've done, it would fuck me up mentally so much.
Yeah.
I wasn't really happy anymore because I was just trying so hard to get successful, and
Stop
it
blaming
just
yourself, right?
100%.
Like,
So my relationship wasn't really that nice as well anymore because I was just sad or mad or
yeah.
frustrated. My e-commerce business started falling apart slowly as well. It was a really bad time. So
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you.
happy that I'm not there anymore.
Yeah,
Let's
I hear you,
put it
man.
like this.
That sounds pretty tough, mate. But I can definitely relate, like for sure. It just kind of drips into other areas of your life, and you start,
Yeah, yeah,
especially like the relationship side of things, and
hmm
being around people, you're probably giving off that negative energy, and you're a lot more
yeah, yeah,
angry,
yeah,
and all that shit
yeah,
that goes with it. So,
yeah.
since you've joined PAL, what are the things that you focused on the most? Is it Banker EA? Is it Red Alert? Or is it Edge?
Um, I what helped me the most, to be honest, is the not sure what the name, the mindfulness program, the meditation thing.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That
The
really helped
Power
me the
Relay.
most. Yeah. Because for me personally, it wasn't really the technical side of things or understanding markets or fundamentally understanding markets or
Uh-huh.
understanding expert advice. This, I when I study things, I learn quickly, to put it like this.
Yeah,
So that wasn't really the difficult part for me, but what I struggled with the most was the psychology thing. And you also have a program that helps with this.
yeah.
So that's what I focused on most.
I love that
But
you said that actually, because it's very rare that someone actually comes on and says that, and I think it often
yeah,
gets overlooked because,
yeah,
like, that's been specially made for that reason to help people, um, with their mindset and with their psychology and doing the stuff behind the scenes that no one really sees. So yeah,
yeah,
I love that you said that, man. But yeah, sorry,
yeah.
continue.
And then the beautiful thing about Poe, in my humble opinion, is that you get updated so
Mm,
often. 1 year ago, it wasn't what it is right now.
yeah,
So I'm not saying there's a direct correlation between the updates and me finally finding success. But what has helped me a lot is that it's way easier and basically more. The process is more streamlined now.
100%.
So when it finally clicked for me was when Darren launched the live Q&A, where he basically made the diagram with the three strategies
Yeah.
on top of a portfolio builder,
Yeah.
making your own optimization files,
Yeah.
and I just started copying the process from second one to second 60 and do everything the same as Darren teaches, with my own personal tweaks, of course, because I know what kind of psychology I like. So I know what I would like to run. And when I followed the process, and just let the master accounts play out,
Yeah.
I just realized, oh, this is actually quite simple if
Powerful.
I just let them play out. And this is something I wouldn't do before. I would open my MetaTrader, see the trades, and then I would decide in my own head, oh no, these trades are not good. Let me layer in some more cells and let me do this and let me do that. Just trying to do more,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then ultimately getting lesser results.
Yeah.
So for me, the portfolio builder edition is really, really nice because it enables me to just quickly see and spot set files and just throw them in the portfolio, let them play out, and then collect data. And from this data, make the decisions what you need to do to
I
get more
feel like,
profitable. Yeah,
yeah, 100%. Everyone has benefited from, the introduction of Portfolio Builder, but for me, it's just like, I don't know about you, but it's just saved me so much time. Like I used to
yeah,
go through hours and hours and hours, if not days, going through the set files and trying to pick the best ones, having to
yeah,
review all the data yourself. And now the fact that
yeah,
we've got Portfolio Builder and PAL Score, which
yeah.
helps, identify robust set files and make sure that, all the criteria is exactly what we're searching for. There's no
Hmm.
guesswork anymore. It's like you
No,
simply
no.
just use the app and it's just so straightforward and so quick.
Yeah,
So for the amount of time it saved, personally, it's just been absolutely
yeah,
insane. But what have you
yes.
gone on to since like you've been doing that process and you've been seeing success?
Hmm.
What sort of success have you seen? I know you've been posting in the group
Yeah,
your
yeah.
stuff and it's amazing to read, but let's just share it for the video purposes. So how much capital have you got and your
Um, I, I
withdrawals?
I did lose some capital 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I fucked up, to be honest. Got emotional. It was on the day that my stepfather passed away, and I was arranging the funeral. So at that day, I lost 400K in capital. So
mate,
that was a tough pill to swallow.
that's a tough day. I'm sorry
Yeah,
to
that was a tough day.
I'm really
But
sorry.
the week after, I passed 100K funding pips, and I've just received my credentials for a 200K FTMO account. That I actually passed 100% with the Powerbanker EA. So
Nice.
that was a first as well, and I passed it rather quickly.
So
So right now, let me check my
I was going to say,
journal.
so far, so including the 400k that you lost, we're up to 700k,
Yeah, and then I've 200K the funded trader,
900k.
and another 200K the funded trader that actually got breached because they had a server outage,
Yeah,
so it got
that's
breached, but
annoying.
it wasn't my fault. So I'm expecting to get it back.
1.1 mil,
Yeah, and then I have a 200K next step funded using the FastPass,
1.3
so
mil,
the HFT. Then Infinity Forex funds also HFT 200K.
1.5 mil.
I had 200K Blue Guardian, but they have paid me out quite substantial amount. But I asked for a payout last Tuesday of 8K, and they just declined it and said it was cheating. So they breached that account, and
7
that
mil counting.
yeah, really sucks, to be honest. And then I have 600K only funds, so I'm maxed out at one as well.
So 2.3 million altogether in funded capital,
Yeah,
including the breaches and the other bullshit.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, this is the problem. Like with these prop firms, I mean, it's good that you've been paid out, so technically you're still in
yeah,
positive on those
exactly.
accounts. But
Yeah.
the fact that yeah, I mean, there seems to be a lot of this stuff like happening at the moment where it's just like
Mm.
copy trading and
It's,
cheating and all that
yeah,
BS, and it's just like I think
it's
this
just
is the
bullshit.
problem with these HFT firms, right? It's, you kind of
Yeah,
take that
yeah,
risk,
yeah.
but
Yep.
how much in payouts? I know you had an amazing January and February, but how
Yeah.
much altogether did you withdraw in January?
Well, I did in January or just this year.
Just this year, just this year.
Yeah, so I still have when I count the amounts that I'm expecting to receive this month, because I've 4.7k waiting for withdrawal and 2.2k in only funds and 3k in funding pips. And when I then add these numbers that still have to be paid out with the amounts that have been paid out in the first month of the year and the second month of the year, I'm up 51k in USD.
Jeez, bloody
Yeah,
hell.
yeah, so this really goes to show, and to be honest, I need to say this, and it feels difficult for me to say it because I'm now in an interview with Pau, but not all of these payouts were made 100% using the Pau banker. It's also some manual trading. Would say 60-40%, so 60% Pau, 40% manual.
Nice, nice, nice.
But
Still,
I want to be honest. So
51K.
yeah, yeah,
Crazy,
yeah.
mate. Absolutely mental. And is
Yeah.
that including the ones that have been denied?
Oh no, 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 no,
So
no. This
including the
is
ones that have been denied, roughly how
when
much?
when I include the ones that have been denied, I must include the 8K Blue Guardian.
Hmm. So
That one
that's
has been denied. I was up 30K on Infinity Forex, but they have a profit cap
jeez.
that I wasn't aware of. What else? Next Step Funded also denied 10K. So if I include those, it would be yeah, almost 70K. Yeah.
Mate, that's absolutely crazy, man. That's
Yeah, it's
absolutely mental,
absolutely
mate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And the thing is, I treat prop firms, and this is also maybe a bit unorthodox, because the process, as Darren and Pau teaches, is just keep the accounts, a lot of capital, low profit splits, keep them, be sustainable. And I get this, but for me personally, I've been burned so often with prop firms,
Hmm.
them not paying out. I've seen it again with Blue Guardian, even though this
Mm.
wasn't even in the HFT firm.
Yeah,
So I just try and get the payouts, get big payouts quickly,
yeah,
because I know in the end they will just reach me anyways.
yeah,
They
yeah,
will always find a reason to not pay up. So this
yeah,
is kind of the landmine field you try to navigate on,
yeah,
and this is also why I also decided to not only diversify my portfolio, so my strategies, but also diversify my funding accounts.
yeah. I was gonna say the what you just said. This is why Powell started to focus more on also growing live capital as well, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like it's all well and good like using prop firms and using
hmm
them withdrawals, but at the end of
yeah,
the day, if they all disappear,
yeah,
then you're going to be
yeah,
pretty screwed, right? So
yeah,
it's important to grow your life capital at the same time and
hmm
try and scale both.
yes,
We can use the portfolio that you're using for prop firms and use that on your live capital account as well. So that's the
yeah,
beauty of actually building these portfolios as well. So in
yeah.
terms of like what you've achieved and is it still having issues communicating with our servers trying to reconnect? I
I can
think
still hear you.
you can still hear me, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I just got a little error sign. That's all. We'll see what happens. But
Just
so
one, just one thing, Michael. No problem at all. But expect some noise because the missus is coming home from doing
no,
groceries. So
that's all good, man.
yeah.
We're nearly done anyway. That's all right, mate.
Okay. Cool.
So how has that affected you personally? Being able to see that you can make these withdrawals and the amount you've withdrawn and the success you've seen, like has a
Oh,
positive effect on you?
yes, yes. Yeah, 100%. Because it was in the first 1.5 years, it was just dabbling around in insecurity and basically just grinding my teeth and trying to get things going, knowing in the end there would be a golden bag of money. And now I have the bag of money, and
Yeah,
it just lightens the load.
yeah,
It's like, okay, if I would blow everything right now,
yeah,
no problem, because I can just get 50 200k challenges and get back the funding that I had before. Of
yeah,
course, it would suck, but it gives me some peace knowing that I now have the skills
yeah,
to get it back again. So of course I was a bit yeah, let down when Blue Guardian decided to breach me for a bullshit reason because it's not doing justice to what I've done.
Yeah,
But it's not giving me really much stress anymore because I just know, well, I can just get a pass
yeah,
on whatever funding account, and if they do pay, it's a nice risk to reward that you can get anyway.
yeah. 'Cause
So
you've gained that confidence now, right? Once you've
yeah,
got that confidence that you can do it. This is why it's
yeah,
also important to run your accounts in the live market and running on demos first, so that
yeah,
you gain that confidence and you see
yeah.
that, okay, maybe I can actually do this. It's no
Hmm.
different from running it on a demo to a live account or a
Yeah,
prop game
yeah.
account, right? So
Plus the it's not a mistake, but it's a thinking error to put it like this. When you're 100k funded, you're not really having 100k in capital. It's basically just 10k
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
that's the allowed drawdown you have.
The
So
drawdown,
you
yeah,
can basically make the same amount of money on a 10k account, personal funds, than you would on 100k
yeah.
funding account
That's a good
without
point.
all the rules. So
It's a
I
very good
just
point.
know if I, for example, have 100k in no money,
Yeah,
I can just put something to work,
yeah, hundred
and
percent.
it's all good. So if the pop industry decides to shut down due to regulations or anything,
Yeah,
I know I'm still good in the long term because I've invested a lot of money into trying to develop the skill, and now it seems I finally have this skill. I'm learning each and every day.
yeah.
But the
Love it.
most important takeaway for me personally is that I've really grown as a person.
Love that. Yes,
I've
yes.
became a bit more patient.
Love it.
Yeah,
I love
better.
to love to hear it, man. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great. It's great to hear. So,
yeah,
in terms of like, if you was to give three pieces of advice for either
hmm
new members or people sitting on the fence waiting to join, what would they
yeah.
be?
Firstly, don't sit on the fence.
Yeah.
Just go,
Legend.
and don't be afraid of losing money or losing this or investing time. All the good things in life, they come at a cost, and if you're not prepared to to pay the price, just don't bother yourself with checking the Instagram stories and dabbling around in decisions. Should I or could I or do this?
Yeah.
Just go for it or don't,
Do it.
because it's a waste of time otherwise. Secondly, I would advise people that joined to follow the process and not think that they know it all and just do their own thing. I tried doing my own thing, and it basically resulted in me almost wrecking my then profitable business, trying to get a new business in the Forex game.
Yeah.
Coming along. Thirdly, don't focus on profits, but focus on your own process, and then not only trading related process, but also focus on your own psychology, because in my humble opinion, trading is 10% skill and 90% psychology. But that's for me personally.
Yes. Yes.
And this is something I can conclude for my own, because I found the most success when I stopped focusing on trading strategies, and I started focusing on my own psychology. So
Yes.
these
Yes.
three things, yeah.
Love
Just
it,
make the
man.
decision, follow the process of someone that is successful. Don't try and make your own things.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, psychology. Yeah.
Love it, mate. I love it. That's great advice, man. It's been a great interview. Yeah, really, really appreciate you sharing, like, obviously the struggles firstly, because that's probably the
Mhm.
hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like you've been through, quite a tough time in that sense.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But it's also amazing to hear like how you've come out the other side and the success
Yeah.
you're seeing right now and how that's
Yeah.
benefiting you. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
And,
amazing,
and and
mate.
for the people, just one last thing for the people that are struggling right now. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Yes.
Don't quit, because literally 1 year ago, my father passed away. It was really really stressful time, and this was also, funny enough, the time when I found profitability. So I decided to give it one more run, and it was with Acre FX,
Yeah.
and I
Another
was
one
up.
that,
Yeah, was up. I think 37k
yeah.
on the 400k account, all manual trading, and I was really expecting this to be paid out, and it would kind of balance out the costs I incurred,
Yeah.
and they didn't pay. They
Yeah.
didn't pay.
mate.
And then my missus said, "Well, just stop this game
Yeah,
because no one is paying you anyways. Why are you doing this?" And I just
that's the
kept on
point.
going, kept on going. And then just half a year later, so November of 23, got the funding with the funded trader, 600K, made a withdrawal, got more funding, HFT, made a withdrawal again, and then FTMO, Blue Guardian, and now I'm up 51K for the year. So
Legend,
it
man.
can happen like this just over
True
time.
legend. I love it,
Yeah,
mate. I love it. You're
yeah.
inspiring me, man. You're inspiring me.
Well, I
Yeah.
still have a lot to learn.
I'm
So
serious, man. It's great. It's
yeah,
great
yeah,
stuff. This is why I love
yeah,
doing these interviews because I get to learn so much from people and I
yeah,
get so
yeah,
much inspiration off of them. Like, it's just great to hear, man. All
yeah.
right. Thank you very much. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you
It's
jumping on
okay.
here on a Saturday morning. And
Yes, yes.
I'll stay in touch with you. I'll send you a little DM on the Discord channel and we'll stay in
Oh, sure.
touch.
Yeah,
All right, man.
wonderful.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
mate.
Michael. Okay,
Appreciate it,
bye bye.
man. Take
Bye
care,
bye.
mate. Thank
See
you.
ya.
Let me just see if how to stop this thing.